We as Laker fans have been blessed to have great GMs. Laker legends Jerry West and Mitch Kupchak have occupied that role successfully, bringing the franchise 6 and 4 championships respectively. The current GM, Rob Pelinka, has accumulated a grand total of 0 championships during his 3 years occupying the role. In fact, the Lakers have failed to even make the playoffs during his tenure, let alone sniff a championship. Despite the lack of success, I find myself appreciating this man. Like many basketball fans, I have been watching The Last Dance to fill that void caused by the suspension of the season. One of the subjects of that series was the GM of the Bulls, Jerry Krause. Krause was one of the best GMs of all time. Even those who had a problem with him had to admit that. He put together one of the greatest teams ever. He saw potential in Phil Jackson as a head coach. He drafted Scottie Pippen and later signed Dennis Rodman. He knew how to surround Michael Jordan with the talent to win. You can't argue with the results. 6 championships. Even with all those accolades, history still views him in a dark light. Why? Why do those who've had so much success under his reign still have a bitter taste in their mouth when they are discussing him? Maybe it's because his time with the Bulls was in fact a reign. Jerry wanted the credit for the success. He wanted to be the reason the Bulls won. His infamous statement, "Players and coaches don't win championships. Organizations win championships," showed that he viewed himself above the players, above those who are actually playing and putting their bodies on the line. Why else would he want to move in a different direction when the one they were taking was working so well? Why did the dynasty have to end that year? Why did it have to be the last dance when everyone else wanted to defend the title and go another round? Jerry's pride was the reason. This brings me to Rob Pelinka. Pelinka came onto the Lakers as GM in 2017. He was replacing Mitch Kupchak, who at the time made some questionable decisions, forcing the Lakers to go in another direction. This was Pelinka's first time being a general manager for a team, and his inexperience was obvious. He had experience in the business of basketball. He was the 6th member of the Fab Five. He was an agent for various players, most notably Kobe Bryant. His relationship with Kobe is how he got on the Lakers' radar and probably the reason why he got the job. It didn't help that he was paired with Magic Johnson, who was also inexperienced in his role of president of basketball operations. Sure, these two might have done well in their previous jobs, but this is a totally different job that requires totally different skills. Many Laker fans, myself included, were questioning their competency. This is the Lakers. We expect greatness. This was not the ideal pairing, and that was made glaringly clear when Magic abruptly stepped down from his position. He hinted at some backstabbing going on, and then later straight up called out Pelinka as the one doing the backstabbing. Amidst all this, Rob remained quiet. But he also decided not to respond to all the media outlets bashing him and the Lakers front office. Pelinka did not seek to clear his name. When asked for a response to these claims, all he said was that his only response was to do his job to the best of his abilities. Under Rob Pelinka, the Lakers were able to land the biggest superstar in the NBA. Magic has to get credit for that as well, but he also left in an unsavory manner that left LeBron James and the rest of the Lakers organization in an awkward position. Amidst all this chaos, Pelinka was able to pull off a trade that landed the Lakers another superstar. He was able to put together a squad that is currently the number 1 seed in the West and 2nd seed overall. They are a championship contender, and many oddmakers have them as the favorites to win it all. But it wasn't his ability to put together this team that has earned my admiration. It was the manner in which he did it. He actively went out and asked the opinions of the current players. Anthony Davis said that he would always be texting him about his opinion, and it would be so much it was almost to a point of irritation. He didn't view himself above the players. He saw this as an opportunity for a symbiotic relationship. He saw this as a partnership. He didn't consider himself the brains of the operation. All the athletes were the brawn. He saw value in the players and didn't think himself as their superior. In today's society, where it is very commonplace to view employees as assets, he sought to treat them as people. In this day and age, people are rewarded for doing what's best for business. Those in power do not hesitate to get rid of people, even getting rid of entire jobs, if it means saving $1. It is no different in the sports world. In fact, many fans will praise GMs for doing what's best for business, what saves the team money, getting teams under the cap, getting value for a player. Isaiah Thomas was traded after playing for the Celtics on a bad hip the day after his sister died. DeMar DeRozan was traded without warning after dedicating his career to Toronto. And yes, that's the business of basketball. And maybe they are just doing their jobs. And this is not to say that Pelinka has not traded away players or let people go. But he has not compromised his humanity to do so. He's done so in a way that does not ruin relationships or treat players like property or products. It's nice to see a general manager that cares about the results, but cares more about the players and the people he works with. Rob Pelinka has allowed players that are no longer part of the team to use the facilities to rehab and work on their skills. Skills that they will most likely be using against the Lakers. Isaiah Thomas and DeMarcus Cousins are known examples, but there have probably been others. When KCP came to the Lakers, he literally said it felt like manna coming from heaven. And this was KCP, not any superstar, just KCP. And he felt like he was a gift coming from God. And this just shows his appreciation for those he works with. These days, people are doubling down on prioritizing profits over human lives. During these tough times, it's good to have someone in the leadership role that cares. Not about profits, not about getting credit for the success, not about his own reputation, but for the well-being and the dignity of his fellow man. People will continue to do what they deem is best for business. But in the business of relationships, in the business of humanity, doing right is what's good for business.